One of the groom's family had broken into the kitchen and urinated into the glass washer.
Hello.
Hello.
How you doing?
Hello and welcome to the fourth-ish We Make It Happen podcast, a podcast designed for people within the entertainment and events industry, delving into the funny and the maybe not so funny aspects of our lives. Hello.
Hello.
Who are you?
I am Kristi, or Kristix Drumming.
Good to see you.
Who are you?
I am Callum Sweet, also known as Sweet on Sax.
Good to see you too.
Good to see you.
So we did have a slight technical issue, hence why this is fourth-ish.
We did. So this is the fourth podcast that you'll know of, but this is actually the fifth podcast that we have recorded, as our last podcast didn't quite go to plan due to many technical hiccups. So unfortunately, and we had a wonderful guest as well, but unfortunately we're going to have to postpone that guest.
I know.
We won't tell you who it is, just to keep you in suspense. We'll have to
keep the surprise alive.
Yes. So hopefully you will see them much later on in your journeys throughout our podcast.
But until then, you'll have to just deal with us too.
Yes, it's just us two. It's
going back to the start. Oh, geez.
Exactly. Now, if you are familiar with our podcast, you will know that every time we do a love or loathe our jobs. So I'm going to start with you because it just feels rude to start with me. I'm going to tell you. Are you loving or loathing your job right now?
I am loving it, to be fair. I can't really complain. I'm on top of all my admin, so I'm chuffed with that. And I've got back on top of all my trolls, which I'm chuffed about that.
That's good.
And because I had to go back and like deal with all the messages and all the awful comments and all that rubbish. So I managed to finally get back to everybody, yesterday, going back to the 12th of March. So bearing in mind the date now is the 21st of April, it has taken me like 40 days to deal with the backlash of tossers. I'm going to say it. The backlash of tossers.
I don't think that's a swear word. I think that's
fine then.
Sorry, there's already a rustling going on at the start because I realised I didn't have a light on, but we're back.
We're back
already. Starts with means to carry on.
But yes, I'm finally on top of all that now, which feels like a weight's been lifted after the 40-day ordeal. I went to go see Sean Paul. So Sean Paul.
How was that?
It was good. It was a Sean Paul and a Shanty. And I went with my friend and she always buys merch. So as soon as we went in, we got there like at 6:00 because she's quite anal about timing. She doesn't want to miss anything.
Oh, right, okay.
They didn't start till 8. So we were just sat there.
Oh, no.
Not doing anything.
Oh, no.
I know. And there was a massive mixture of people going there, which was really odd. There was...
What do you mean by mixture?
So my friend thought it would be like all people kind of our age.
Okay.
But there were quite a lot of kids there. And when I say kids, I mean like 12, unaccompanied, huge hair, tiaras, fake
Huge
tan.
hair?
Yeah, fake tan, push-up bras.
Oh,
Might be getting the gist.
I didn't realise that kind of crowd would be interested in Shandibal.
Neither, but I did a gig for that type of crowd, and I've never seen so many 12-year-olds twerking to songs about sex. It was very odd. So there were quite a lot of those there, those type of people.
Quite a lot of what, sorry, there?
Those type of people.
Those type of people, I misheard.
And then we walked past the merch, and I'm currently sporting one of his items as we speak. So I got...
What does it say?
I'm going to tell you in a second.
Okay.
So on one of my comments, on one of these trolls, this girl put, the Dutty drummer. And I was like, Dutty? Maybe this is me just being a naive cow. But I was like, is that... I don't know, is that a good thing? Because I hear like Dutty Wind and stuff, like a dance song.
I can tell you a little bit more about this word if you're wanting me to.
Go on, and then I'll give you the Oxford definition.
Oh, okay. So it's patois. And I think it means dirty.
Yes, I'm guessing it means dirty. But like I say, some people do use it in a positive thing, like a Dutty Wind is like a dance.
Yes.
So I was like, Mum, in all of your middle-aged white wisdom, can you please Google what dutty means?
Oh, right. So this is so my partner is Jamaican or Jamaican heritage.
Right.
So she knows all of the well, she knows a lot of patois, and she's obviously educated me. So if there are people of Jamaican heritage listening, they will obviously be like, "How do you not know what that means?" But obviously, like white people and mixed race people, including myself, I'm of African heritage, so I wouldn't really know either.
No. So anyway, the Oxford definition is offensive or revolting to the senses, dirty, not clean, and related senses. And I was like, lovely.
That's such a posh kind of definition.
in the Oxford dictionary. So I walked past, and one of his second album, I think, Sean Paul, is called Dutty Rock, and I saw this massive, like this hoodie with Dutty on the front of it, and I thought, you know what? I'm just gonna rewrite it. I'm gonna claim it.
So you've got it.
So I spent £75 to name myself Anna.
Sorry, that jumper was £75.
I know, but it is Sean Paul.
£75. Wow.
Sean Paul official merchandise, I will have you know.
Wow, that's so expensive.
It really
for one word.
It really is. And it's not even a nice word. But I just thought, bugger it. Whenever I'm going through all my trolls, I'm going to have my Dutty shirt on. I'm just going to reclaim everything.
It's a black jumper with the word Dutty on it.
I know, but the label that you can't see says Sean Paul.
Oh, and that makes the difference.
Yeah, apparently so. I'm not even as big as fan of his, but I just saw it and I was like, well, that's appropriately timed.
I thought you were front row tickets.
No.
VIP backstage.
VIP. I don't need tickets. He paid me to be there.
Did you need a percussionist that day?
No, unfortunately not. But yeah, so that's what I've done. What have you been doing? Do you love or loathe? Sorry.
Oh, yeah. Are you on a love?
Oh.
Because I feel like
I went on a dirty tangent.
Yeah, but you've not actually said whether you're still loving your job.
No, I am loving it because I'm feeling lighter and I feel like everything's going well.
That's good.
The one load that I have is my body clock has completely reset to non-working standard.
Is that because the hour's gone forward?
No, actually. Like I say, since January, I've tried to get in this good sleep pattern of going to bed at midnight, waking up at 9:15. Get your tea. He's trying to reach for his tea.
What happened was the cord of the headphones got stuck on the sofa and was pulling my headphones off. So I think I'm just going to look at the tea and imagine what it tastes like.
Okay, well, let's just take bets on whether it's cold again.
Oh, it will be.
You've never had a hot tea.
I've never had a hot tea. No.
During this podcast.
What were you going to say? Sorry.
Body clock wise, I know that for me, I need 9 hours sleep now. 9 hours and 15 minutes to be precise. And that is when I run at peak operation. But because obviously January, February, March is slightly quieter and it's not like summer where you've got 3, 4, 5 gigs a week and your body clock is just reset to being nocturnal. Now I'm struggling with, I've got a gig tonight. I can't sleep in because I've set my body clock to wake up at 9. And then I can't have a nap because I'm not tired because I'm operating at peak performance. And then when it gets to the time of the gig, I'm driving home at 2 a.m. and I'm shattered. But then I still wake up at 9 when I get to bed at 4.
Oh, that doesn't quite happen with me.
Oh, does it not?
No, I get woken up by a child.
By a child.
I don't care what time you got from work last night. I just want feeding.
Well, what time did you get in from work last night? Because you were gigging late last night, weren't you?
Yeah, I actually went to sleep after 5.
Good God.
Yeah. So it's just for reference, we are on a Monday. You'll probably be listening to this not on Monday. You'll be listening to this hopefully in a couple of days' time.
Yep.
And it is Easter Monday. I've not done my love and loathe yet, but it's Easter Monday and I've got a gift for you.
Oh my God, have
you? It's a Cadbury's cream egg. Look. Happy Easter.
Oh, I didn't get you anything. I bought coffee and my presents.
The tea is beautiful. This is the warmest tea I've ever had.
Happy Easter.
Happy Easter.
And thank you for my cream egg.
You're very welcome.
I used to be addicted to these in 2021.
I wasn't sure whether you're going to like it, but I thought, I'll get you a cream egg.
No, I love them.
Happy Easter.
I love them. I used to have 3 a day.
Three a day?
Yeah, it was.
How do you have teeth?
I have no idea. That's a whole different story. I didn't brush my teeth when I was with my ex.
You didn't brush your teeth when you were with your ex? There is a great You didn't brush your teeth when you were with your ex. Do you want to elaborate? I feel like this needs some partial elaboration.
It's very hard to go into the elaboration without depressing everybody.
Okay, well...
It probably caused by depression from being in an abusive relationship.
Okay. Yeah,
and the guy didn't brush his teeth. So when I left, I hadn't brushed my teeth. This is gross. I'm so sorry. I hadn't brushed my teeth for about 3 months.
Whoa.
I know. So I went to the dentist, and it was like the week or 2 weeks after I left him, because he never brushed his teeth, and he smoked weed all the time, and he was just it just was a bad spiral. I'm sure we'll go into that on a different episode. But yeah, so I went to the dentist, and I was like, I honestly have no idea what you're going to find. I'm so sorry. Because I was drinking and I was smoking and I was doing other things whilst I was with him and not brushing my teeth and eating 5 cream eggs a day. And he just went...
There's a cream egg there. There's a cream egg from 3 months ago stuck between your teeth.
No, he literally went, you don't need to do anything.
What? And
brushing your teeth is a myth.
No, it's not. Don't honestly, tell people that.
I had a deep clean, didn't need any fillings, no decay, no nothing. I do brush my teeth twice a day now just to put that in. And I have done for the past 2 years since I left him. But, yeah. Nothing.
Wow.
Nothing was needed.
So just going back to Love or Loathe.
This is the biggest detour. Right.
That was a great detour.
I know, I've just outed my bad hygiene. That has changed. Better habits have been formed after leaving that. Also a tosser. What was I going to say? Yeah. So I have actually answered this question. I loved all the admin being on top of things. I had a good gig. We'll get into that later. And I loathed the body clock change. Back to you.
I'm just really tired. So I had 5 gigs in the weekend, there were positive experiences and negative experiences from all of them, and it was the same negative experience that kind of kept cropping up.
Right.
So one gig, most of them were club gigs. 4 of the 5 were club gigs. One of them was a brilliant wedding.
5 gigs this week.
Yeah. One was a brilliant wedding. Nothing to complain about there. That was fantastic. It was great to see people energized and really loving what was happening in front of them. So that was great. Nothing to talk about there. But then the club gigs, all of them were with fantastic DJs, and I had a great time.
Fab.
In all of them, except they were just really poorly attended, I'd say.
On Easter?
Yeah, this was the big shock for me from Easter, particularly yesterday. It was just really quiet.
That's strange.
Yeah, there must be a good reason for this. I don't know what it is. I don't know whether... Because a lot of the places I do are quite student age in terms of,
Maybe they've gone home.
Comes. That's what I thought. Maybe they've gone home for Easter and this is just like the local residents. And they are, being with their families potentially. But then I thought, I've done Easter before and I've never really seen it this quiet. But yeah, I mean, last night I had an absolutely fantastic time because I was with 2 DJs I hadn't seen in ages and it was really good to see them. But then, strangely, I looked around and they were all having a good time, all 10 of them. And I just thought, and it's moments like that I feel terrible inside because I'm like, the venue have paid X amount of money expecting it to be such a great occasion. And, they're more than likely going to have made a loss.
Yeah.
And it's just gambling really, isn't it?
Yeah.
As a manager of a bar, you're probably gambling with hope and that is going to be busy, but you don't know.
No.
So that was disappointing really. So loved the gigs, hated the fact that they weren't very well attended. And then, other than that, since the last podcast, I went to see Kamasi Washington in Leeds, which was really, really good, very inspiring.
Who is he?
He is a sax player.
Okay.
Of course he is. I didn't say who he was. Of
You
course.
little nerd.
I know, yeah. I just assumed that everyone would know who he is, because if you don't know who he is, then...
Get to know.
Yeah, I know. Get with it, guys. So, yeah, that was really good. The sound was incredible in this venue. I will do a shout out to the venue because they deserve it. Like Project Leeds. So when I first walked into the venue, I was like, oh no, because I thought the sound wasn't going to be very good because I just saw like 2 stacks of speakers aiming in one direction.
Right.
And I thought, well, in 2 directions, but I just thought, okay. So if I'm somewhere else other than in the centre of these speakers, it's not going to sound very good.
But isn't it the same in most places? Don't they just have like speakers at the front?
I feel, Yeah, maybe, but I feel like there's more of a surround effect in
Right.
play, and there wasn't in this venue. But that turned out to be a great thing because I was kind of like, so when I was by the bar, I was like, oh, I can't really hear anything. But then when I moved away from the bar and I was in the centre, I thought this is probably one of the best sounding experiences I've ever had. Like, you just have to be in the right place.
So you ate your words.
I did.
And you can order your drinks in peace.
Yeah. Actually, that's true because you can hear actually what the bartenders are saying for once, which does actually make a quite pleasant, positive change.
Maybe it was all intentional.
It probably was, and if it wasn't, it was a very happy accident. So yeah, that was really good. It's encouraged me to pick up my tenor saxophone again because he's a tenor saxophone player, which is the big, deeper one. If you're not a sax person, aficionado, and his sound was just spectacular as well. So yeah, that was really good.
What makes a good sound?
That's a really great, very, very deep question. I think it's very subjective.
Okay.
And I think it depends on what you're into. But I think for me, something that kind of shakes the soul. And what I mean by that is like it somehow resonates with every part of your being
Right.
to make you feel emotionally attached to the sound that you hear.
That did not take the route I was expecting, but
What
I
were you
enjoyed it. I thought you were
expecting?
going to be like, good mouthpiece.
No. I couldn't tell though whether what I just said was complete word jumble or actually made
It
sense.
sounded very spiritual, and I'm here for it.
I think that's what it is, though.
It's a
I think
spiritual
it's
experience.
a spiritual, yeah. And do you know? I bought a record, an actual record of a sax player.
Actual, not a fake one.
No. What I mean is because obviously you don't have records nowadays, do you? You buy them off
Like a
flaming
vinyl?
iTunes. Yeah, like a vinyl record. I got it from a record fair of another tenor sax player, and I was quite looking forward to it. And he's an incredible sax player. I won't really say who it is because I just get slated. And he's a great sax player, but his tone didn't resonate with me. And I was like, do you know what? I love like his improvisation and his playing, but I'm just not that keen. Oh, go on. It's Oliver Nelson.
Oliver Nelson.
Yeah, I think that was. Yeah, I'm pretty confident that's who it was. But
Be confident if you're going to insult it.
I know. Yeah, I might have to edit that bit out if I've got the name wrong. So yeah, but his Kamasi Washington's tone. I think that's what it is. Tone just made me go whoa. And there was this moment where he played on his own, no accompaniment with him, and the sound was just unbelievable.
Is it spiritual?
Yeah. And what's great as well is his dad is in the band.
I love that.
Yeah, so it's like it's just like a little family get together. But what's
cute.
beautiful is there are times when I watch both of them actually look at each other with admiration in terms of what they're playing. And it's clear that his father taught Kamasi as well. I think he mentioned that at one point during the gig. So yeah, it was just a really nice gig. Really, and I went to see him with my partner as well, so it was just a really nice experience because we don't get to go out that often, just with a newborn and with our working, gigging lives.
What day was it on?
That was on a Friday. I took the night off.
Did you actually intentionally take it off for the gig?
Yes and no.
Okay.
So I initially thought the gig was going to be on another day, booked that off, then found myself to be gigless on that day when I realised that the day was incorrect, and it was. But I didn't actually end up having a night off because I got a last minute booking in the end and went down to Chester. For another gig. That was on Friday, the 4th of April.
Yeah, but how did the timings work if you were at a sax gig?
No. So this is what I'm saying.
Oh, you booked the day off and then you got a gig on that booked off date.
Yeah. But I
see.
initially didn't have a gig for ages, and then suddenly one came in last minute, which was a bit of a relief.
I see.
Yeah. So that's what I've been doing. So I'd say that I love it. Oh, my double booking that I spoke about in the last podcast that wasn't really a double booking. I just needed to move the times.
Yep.
Spoke to the client. They were like, yeah, cool, fine.
Brilliant.
I was like, I've been stressing about this for ages.
I even mentioned it on my podcast to millions of people.
Yeah. Millions.
Millions.
Absolutely. Yeah. And she was just like, oh, yeah, that would actually work better if you moved it. I was like, okay, win-win. So, yeah, that went well.
Fantastic.
Yeah. So, pretty happy, to be honest. Just cracked on with life. Yeah. nothing really to report. I'd say that I'm feeling okay in my physical and mental health, just very tired.
Yeah.
To be honest.
I mean, that'll happen after 5 days. 5 gigs.
5 gigs, yeah. Over 3 days. So 2.
I think if you weren't tired, I'd be worried about you.
Well, yeah.
But like, what do you want?
A lot of coffee. Yesterday I did a crazy thing as well because I had 2 gigs, both in Leeds, both club gigs. One of them was in the afternoon and one of them was in the evening. Well, its start time was 12:30. I decided to go home in the middle of the gigs, and home for me is Sheffield. So it was an hour to get to the gig, an hour back, then an hour to get to the gig again, and an hour back.
Oh my God.
It was Easter, so I thought, well, I'll spend time with the family.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
4 hours driving though.
And that was a bit tiresome. And kind of like on the way back, I thought, did I mess up here? Should I have not done this? But then I'd have spent 6 hours in Leeds not knowing what to do.
Given me a call.
I'd have had no idea who to see.
Me?
It just didn't cross my mind. Checking. I did actually call you.
You did, but you could have seen me.
I could have. I just didn't.
We just wouldn't have had we wouldn't have had anything to speak about today.
No, that's true. That is true. So, yeah, what have you been up to then? I know you've just mentioned like you've been to see Mr. Dutty.
Mr. Dutty.
But you've also,
my husband, Mr. Dutty.
Wow, that escalated quick. You've also been sorting out your business, haven't you?
Yeah,
Your pet shop business.
I mean, there's nothing really to report on that, to be fair. We were hoping to get a little bit more time off work, considering we've now actually shut one of the buildings, and that's been sold and gone. But it's actually just fallen on the time when everyone's off work now. So I think our manager's got 2 weeks off. Another girl's gone, and she's got quite a few gigs booked in. She's just attending, not playing.
Okay.
So she's booked time off for that, and yeah, it just so happens that I think my parents have been like, well, we were supposed to be closing. We were thinking about closing now. So we'll just let you have all your holidays that you wanted to have because, we wouldn't have been here when you booked them. But then that's kind of now dropped us in the deep end a little bit because we actually probably have less time now or the same small amount of time that we did because we're still always in work. But we can have like mornings off sometimes, which is quite nice.
Okay. Speaking of holidays, and this leads me on to what have you got looking forward to coming up? You've booked a holiday.
We're going to Ibiza.
Yeah, you are. So I found this out by speaking to you yesterday, that you have booked the wonderful Ibiza.
IBZ 2K25, yeah.
Yeah.
Looking forward to it. Should be really good. So May, girl on sax, is playing out there. But straight after I left my crappy ex, 5 days after I left him, I was kidnapped and went to Ibiza because we had it booked in.
You probably need to maybe clarify what you mean by kidnapped.
Oh, not really.
5 days after I left my ex, I was kidnapped. Immediately I thought, by your ex?
Nearly. No. So basically we had this Ibiza trip booked in. And it was actually one of the catalysts as to why I left him because I was meant to be paying for him. I was paying for everything. And he was like, well, am I not worth it? And I was like, no.
Not really, no, mate, to be honest.
Didn't say it as confidently as I am doing now. But yeah, that was one of the catalysts. So basically, I was meant to be going anyway. He was meant to be joining me, but I'm bloody glad he didn't. And so I was just crying all the way to the airport to then go have this lovely time with May and Holly, and then her brother, May's brother as well. And we had such a great time for those 5 days. It was actually quite therapeutic and healing for me because the last time we went to those places, I was with my ex. So we went back and we rewrote it. That's like, I'm a big person of that. So rewriting with the Dutty hoodie, rewriting with the cream eggs, like rewriting with Ibiza. And we had such a good time that we thought, we're just going to do this again next year. So we did it.
Yeah.
And then now this is the 3rd year in a row that we're going. So May's already playing out there. I'm not. So I'm just going to fly out, have a holiday. Although now she has pushed for me to get a gig on the day that I land because, I know, it gets worse. But because she was asked to play at a wedding the night before, but she was booked. So the bride said, oh, okay, instead, can you do our barbecue pool party the following day? So she was like,
party.
Pool party. Pool party. So May said yes. They didn't have a percussionist, so she said, I've got actually a percussionist flying out. You won't have to pay for flights or accommodation because she's already coming. You just pay the fee. All sounds great.
What are you going to play on some tables?
No.
Are you bringing everything out there?
Well, I actually bought a 20 kilo case because I always do that to take all my drums out whenever I have an abroad gig. But I thought for the first time in however long, probably my life, actually, I'm going to have a 20 kilo case to myself that I can just fill with clothes.
Amazing.
And like nice hats and shoes and all the dresses I can muster. I'm only going for 4 days. Mum was like,
so what are you playing then? There.
Well, this is the thing. I was going to do all of that and I was buzzing about it. And then she was like, I might have got you a gig. And I was so excited, but also I was like, crap. Because
oh, so you're not taking everything.
I don't want to take my equipment. I want to just chill. But in reality, I think it'd be nice. So I'm just going to take out, if the bride goes for it, just my bongos that fit in my hand luggage anyway. And then a bongo stand. And I've got a little samba whistle that I was gifted from a crystallite.
Oh, amazing.
I know, sent from America.
Nice.
So I've got my whistle. I'm going to take my little jazzy outfit and just do like a roaming bongo set.
Okay.
So I'm not taking everything. But the reason why I don't want to take everything is because I am gigging the night before until 1 a.m. I'm going to leave the venue at 2. I'm going to get back home to Leeds at 3 a.m.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to have to leave the house at 4 a.m. to get to the airport.
Which airport are you going from?
Leeds Bradford, fortunately. So it's only 15 minutes from my house.
Okay.
But either way, I'm doing
No.
Either way, I'm doing an all-nighter. And I'm going to have to land, not be able to check into my hotel yet because I land at 12-ish. And then I need to go somewhere, put a full face of makeup on with no sleep, and then be at the venue for 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
It's what we do, though, isn't it? we look at this in hindsight. Well, if we're organised enough, I laugh because I'm laughing at myself here. If we're organised enough, we look at this in, and go, oh, this is going to be difficult. Nah, most of the time, not me. I suddenly realise the night before, and I go, oh, Jesus. What have I done here? So, yeah.
So, yeah, that's going to be interesting. An all-nighter, then literally straight from the airport to the gig. But it's going to be good because I'm with May, and I bloody love that girl. And we'll have a little bop around, there's some sequins, and then I'm going to crash out on a sunbed until like 8, and then we might go out for a nice meal or something.
Well, you need a sunbed in IB for that when you've got... Oh, wait, you mean a sunbed like just on...
By the pool?
Oh, sorry, I thought you meant like going into a tanning shop.
I'm just going to fall asleep in a tanning shop.
You're in IB for... I don't know how it works. I don't need to tan. I don't
rub
have
it in.
that problem. So I don't know how tanning shops work.
Yeah, like 9 minutes. It wouldn't be a very good power nap.
Oh, is that how long you were in a tanning shop for? 9 minutes?
Yeah, you can go for like 3, 6, 9, 12.
Oh, wow.
My mum keeps saying, you've got all these nice abroad gigs, you look so pale, you need to get tanning. I'm like, thanks, Mum.
So if you're in a tanning bed for 12 minutes, like, how do you must come up quite crisp by the end. A well-cooked salmon.
A well-done steak.
Yeah.
No, you build it up so that the first time you go, you might go for 3 minutes for the first few sessions, and you can go for 6. I tend to go for like 9, but I haven't been in ages, so I'm going to start at 3 again.
That's what I'd do, if I was in a tanning place. I'd go for a tan, and I'd probably bring what I was going to have for dinner to sit next to me, so it could just cook at the same time. And then as soon as I'm finished with me tanning, I could eat me dinner.
I'm pretty sure you'd be kicked out.
It'd be quite fragrant in there, wouldn't it?
Why does it smell of Chinese stir fry? It's coming from booth 8. Just ignore him. We've told him before.
It'd be a cheaper alternative to an air fryer, wouldn't it? Just get it done at the same time.
I really don't know how to respond to that.
Anyway.
But yeah, so I'm going to Ibiza, which I have invited you and Josie to, if you'd like to come.
Yes.
Because there's me, May.
Josie's my partner.
Yes. Lovely, lovely, beautiful Josie. So there's me, May, her brother Darwin, and then Miriam on drums.
Oh, yes.
Which would be nice. And Helena on violin. So we're going to have like a little muso do.
Nice.
And then on... Not Ibiza related, on Saturday, we are both playing at a christening, which is going to be very odd.
We are, and I didn't know that it was a christening until
yesterday.
Yeah, you told me already, probably, definitely. But it just didn't click. In my head. I was like, oh, that's a christening.
Yeah.
Right. I just see the times in my calendar and go, okay, I'll be there.
I know, but I made that mistake once. I didn't realise it was a wedding because it was booked through an agency, and it was only when I first started, so I was only doing club gigs, and obviously like... In the club gigs, you might wear like little sparkly shorts and a crop. I mean, you might not do, but I was like sparkly shorts and a crop top or something. And I didn't realise what the venue was and what the do was. I turned up and then saw a bride, and I was like, thank God I wasn't wearing some sort of like sequin bikini, because that would have not been appropriate. So now I always double check.
I've got it wrong many times with
your
dress.
sequin bikinis.
Yeah, particularly them. Yeah. It's the mankini.
Oh no! Don't bring that to Ibiza. Actually, bring that to Ibiza.
Out of your heads, guys, please. We don't need that.
I think it's permanently scarred in there.
People are just swerving as they're driving, rolling down the window to vomit. Yeah, we don't need that image. Excuse me, I'm going to cough. I'm back. We don't need the image. So I work regularly with a guy in Liverpool, and I always say to him, "Oh, what's the dress code?" And sometimes he'll go, "Oh, it's just casual, mate. It's just in a working men's club in Liverpool."
Yeah.
I'm like, "Great, cool." I'll come in, and everyone will be in tuxedos, and I'm like,
God.
"I thought you said it was casual." So I've ended up having to bring a spare now in my car of a casual and a spare smart, just in case you get it wrong when I walk into the venue, and I'm like, oh dear, I didn't know it was a funeral.
You're in a shirt that says "Let's party." You're like, oh God.
yeah, I know, right? Yeah, wrong vibes. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that gig as well. It's a long one, but it'll be a good one.
It's 30 minutes.
Yeah.
So it's a christening and a third birthday joined into one, and they've got 30 minutes of Ibiza house with sax and DJ.
Sounds amazing.
So we're going to give the baby tinnitus, but the parents will love it.
Yeah.
She's a repeat client, and she's blooming lovely, and she just loves a party. So there's literally any excuse a christening.
Yeah. Christenings and saxophone are very common in Liverpool.
I did
Scousers love a good party.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe this woman's Scouse in soul.
Maybe. In Seoul. In
her soul.
Oh, sorry, I thought you meant Seoul as in Seoul, Korea. Seoul,
Seoul, Korea?
There's Seoul, Seoue. I don't know how you pronounce it. It's a place in Korea. Seoul.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay, that joke landed right on its face, didn't it? I'm looking forward to that gig. I'm shooting a promo video with my partner because we do like vocals and sax stuff together. Got a debut at a bar in Leeds that I've never played at before, which I'm looking forward to.
Amazing. When is it?
When or where?
When?
It's this Friday.
This Friday.
So I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, not really that much. I'm just going to try and practice. Oh, I'm learning piano as well.
Incredible.
Hence the piano in the room. I've basically got this deal with, I don't think I've mentioned this before, with the pianist in this building. So I teach her partner saxophone and she teaches me piano in return.
That's so cool.
I don't know what he's given her in return.
I don't want to know. I'm so sorry. I didn't say anything, really. That was your mind.
No, you didn't say anything.
I said nothing.
Drop that bit up.
John's head.
So yeah, that's it, really. That's it. Please do let us know what you are into or getting involved with by emailing at
wemakeithappenpodcast@gmail.com.
I really enjoyed the American accent.
Thank you.
Shopify. We make it happen podcast at gmail.com.
Shopify Premium.
Yeah.
Have you seen the Black Mirror episode? The new Black Mirror episode?
No, I don't watch the telly.
I can't talk to you.
There was a long pause there.
Well, if anyone has seen the new Black Mirror episode of season 7, they will understand what I mean about the adverts. I can't talk to you about it. Educate yourself.
When I said I genuinely don't watch the telly. We have a telly. Josie and I always laugh about this because we do get quite a lot of letters through BBC TV licensing. Like, you need to get a TV license. And I'm thinking, guys, come. If you want to inspect, come, because they'll have a great time. Because what will happen is they'll arrive into the house, we will show them the telly, and then we will turn on the telly, and then we'll have to ask them if they want a cup of tea, because it takes about 15 minutes for it to warm up. So
my
we
God.
don't even watch it.
So that's why you don't watch it?
No, the Netflix little logo's on the screen for ages. We have to turn it off, turn it back on. We can't be bothered with that.
No.
Just live our life.
Yeah.
So we really don't watch the TV.
Probably why you get more done than me. I'm the opposite. For me to trick myself into having a productive day, if I'm not in the mood, I'll put Netflix on my laptop and just carry it around with me. It goes outside whilst I'm hanging out the washing. It comes inside whilst I'm putting the washing away. It goes on the sink whilst I'm washing up.
Wow.
I know. I don't even watch it. It's just the sound, I think. It just distracts me thinking, actually, I am being productive, but I'm not bored.
Do you have to have a TV license if you're not in your own house watching the telly? Like what I mean by that is, if you're like walking down the street and you're using 5G and you want to watch BBC iPlayer, do you have to have a TV license?
BBC iPlayer, yeah.
But even if you're...
But of course, we all
not,
say that we have, because we all definitely have got a TV license.
But they're not personal TV licenses, though. The TV licenses for households.
Linked to your address, which you live in.
Oh, I don't know how it works.
I believe.
If you do know how it works, do let us know. Not that I'm really that bothered, because I don't watch the telly. Maybe I'll walk outside and watch the telly. Okay, so we're gonna move on to our podcast topics. We've got a few today. Maybe we'll get through them all. Maybe we won't get through any.
We've had multiple detours, to be fair.
We're going strong. Shall we see how far we've been going already? We've been going 35 minutes.
Good God, it feels like hours.
Feels like hours. I know. So, our first podcast topic is about bartering. Do you ever barter? So, basically, what I mean by that is, are you willing to negotiate your price? And this question came into my head because I was working with a band once, and they said to me, we need to be prepared to negotiate with a client. And I said, why would we negotiate? And they said, well, because we want to do a gig. Obviously, we want to get paid, which does make sense. Like, yeah, of course you want to be paid. But then if you're bartering, what damage are you having on the industry? Because then everyone's then out bartering each other potentially. And are you just making the industry crumble to its knees because you're deciding you're going to trek it to Scotland for £1, because you want a gig? I mean, that's an exaggeration, but you know what I mean? So do you ever barter?
I think it depends on the gig.
I'm touching your mic. You were ages away from it.
I just saw like a hand coming close to my face, and I was like,
don't forget about the microphone. It's lonely.
The microphone's lonely. Yeah, I think it depends on the gig. If it's going to be like a repeat business thing, or like some sort of not a legal written contract, but like a contract where you kind of become a resident, then potentially, because you are kind of creating a bit of a loss leader, you're taking a bit less each time, but you're making more overall. You know what I mean? Like a bulk buy kind of thing. So I have been known to do that on occasion. For charities, I always knock a couple £100 off my fee because I am just
give them money.
Saint.
Checking, yeah.
Oh, I just got that.
Hold on a minute.
Cow.
I think really I needed this one.
Any more you want to press?
Anyway, sorry, you were saying for charities you knock a couple $100 off.
Yeah, I was trying to say something nice.
Yeah, I know you were. Sorry, I just ruined it. Yeah,
you did.
Made it all about
anyway,
me.
Back to me being perfect. I do knock some money off for charities just because I know they're trying to raise money for charity. I also think it's tricky with bars and any kind of business, or if they're trying to do something because I know they want to make a profit. But ideally, no. I try not to. I normally just say this is my fee, and I do give like 2 fees, but one just includes 2 sets and one includes 3 sets. And then sometimes they think, I can't afford the bigger one, so I'll just get the 2, and then they feel better. And some people go, well, it's only that much more anyway, so I might as well get the 3, and they feel like they're getting a good deal.
Fair.
So I am kind of offering them a bit of.
I do something similar, yeah.
Bit of like a option of what they can pay. But yeah, I recently had this really annoying experience with this client, and she'd asked about my chilled package and my classic Kristi's package, so like my chilled one and my energetic one. And my chilled package is 20 minutes over the space of an hour, whereas my energetic one, it requires me to bring more stuff, and it's normally 30 minutes over the space of 2.5 to 3 hours ish. So there's a difference in price. The chilled one's cheaper. And so I quoted them both, and she went, "Oh, I think the chilled might be better for what we're going for." So I was like, oh, "Okay, fair enough."
Right, yeah.
And then it's only towards the end when I actually realised that she probably just didn't want the chilled. She just didn't want to pay, because then she said,
Oh, right, okay.
because then she said, "I'm not really one to ask people to do things for exposure, but I have actually got 60,000 followers across all my platforms. So, and I will be advertising you on all my platforms. So I'm wondering if you can do a free set." A third set for free.
Well, yeah, she's got 60,000 followers. Why would you not work for free?
Because I've got more than that.
Oh, okay, hold on.
Anyway, sass aside.
Shots fired.
Shots fired. Don't be cheeky with me. She started it being like, "I hate asking people to do this." And I was like, evidently not.
No, you don't.
No, you don't.
Ask everyone.
You ask everybody.
You walk into Sainsbury's and you go, "Hold on a minute, let me put those strawberries on my Instagram because I've got 60,000 followers and Sainsbury's, you could really benefit from that." That's what happens.
I mean, like, I understand everything for exposure, but she also did say that she had a photographer and a videographer coming. And that's what tempted me more, because it's a fairly new package. So if I could get some professional shots of me in a different environment with my new package, with that would actually benefit me more than the exposure, because once again, I've got more than you. Sorry.
Yeah.
So that was my plan. So I kind of went, yeah, fine, I'll do it for that. As long as I can get, in the contract, I will definitely get access to the photos and the videos. Mm-hmm. Cool. I asked the sax player, "Can you do the same?" And she was like, "Yeah, I can do photos and videos. That's fine." And she had a gig in the evening as well, so it was just a nice little top up for her. Perfect. Then she said, "Can you get a DJ?" So I got a DJ, and I don't say the names of the DJ, but I'll send over photos and videos so they can, I'll give them a good little glowing review and send over photos and videos. And then she went, "Oh my God, I know Holly. Yeah, I'll just go to her and see if I can get it cheaper." Fuming. So then I messaged Holly and I was like, right, okay. Apparently this girl didn't actually really know Holly that well. They just went to school together, and I think she was like the year above.
Okay.
Just knew her face.
Okay.
So I went to Holly and I was like, this is the price I've quoted. Can you please just go in at that to kind of keep it fair? And she was like, okay, yes, she did. Didn't hear from this woman for 2 weeks, and she then came back to me and said, "Yeah, Holly was too expensive, so I've got someone else now. But if you can knock off an extra if you can just knock off an extra £200 from you in the sax, then I'll book you today."
Right.
And I was like, "I'm already giving you free sets. You've already gone behind my back as a working agent."
Did you bother in the end?
No.
No, I don't blame you.
No, I just thought, and even with that, you don't even know when you get there if this DJ is going to be any good, if I'm even going to get the content. The photographer and the videographer might get annoyed, and they might just cancel because she's asking for longer. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I didn't in the end, and I helped my friend move house.
Great.
Yeah. So that was worth more. But yeah, I just don't like the cheek of it. For exposure, it's not a good bartering tool.
No, it's not, because you can buy followers.
Yeah.
If you really wanted to. So, I don't. Yeah, I don't. No. I've had that a lot of times. Like, oh, I've got loads of followers. Nah.
But that's how it starts all the time, isn't it? Like, if you're a fairly new person, I won't pay you, but you'll get loads of exposure. And businesses say that. And you think, what are you doing? You're trying to make money. And obviously so are we, because we're starting out. And I think a lot of younger people do get taken advantage of because of that.
Oh, yeah, totally.
They think it's great.
Yeah,
I've done it. I've done gigs for free.
I never have, actually.
Have you not?
I don't think I ever have. But I used to do, when I started out, I've mentioned this before, but I used to play 6 to 8 hour sets for 60 quid. Yeah.
Crazy.
So that was a bit ridiculous. But yeah, no, I've had someone come to me though and say, this was after COVID, and they said, "Oh, do you do a lockdown discount?" And I was like, well, firstly, we're not in lockdown anymore. And secondly, I use that shop reference again, the food shop reference. Do you go into your local shop and go, "Oh, hold on, we've just been out of COVID. Why are the strawbs that price? Do you do a lockdown discount?" They'd laugh you out the shop. So why is it any different for a musician? It doesn't make sense to me, that.
Going on about strawberries quite a lot today, Callum.
Yeah, I quite like strawberries, Funnily enough, though, I only really have blueberries and raspberries and bananas at home, so maybe I should start buying.
You should get some strawberries. You should go in there and be like, "Do you not know who I am? I'll give you exposure on a podcast to millions."
Yeah, I might change my Instagram handle to Strawb on Sax.
Strawb on Sax! I love it. Just really quickly, there was another time when, this is why working for exposure or experience does not bloody work. When I first started, I got approached by an agency, and I want to say this is not the agency's fault.
Okay.
I want to preface that. So they said, "Are you free on this date?" And I was at Leeds Fest at the time. Whoop, whoop. I must have only been doing it 2-3 months-ish. It was in London at quite a prestigious venue. and it was in aid of children. It wasn't children in need. It was something to help the children. I don't know. And so they said, "Can you give me a price?" So I went in with the price, and because I was like, my dad was saying, you need to get there because that'll look so good. This venue in London on your CV for the kids. You need to do it. So I was okay.
Fair.
So I gave them a price, and they went, "Oh, we can't really justify that, So then me, being little old me, was like, okay, if you get my transport, my accommodation, I'll do it for free for the charity.
Okay, yeah, that seems like a fair.
Well, not really, but anyway. So the agency was like, "Are you sure?" And I was like,
"Wait, no, did I misunderstand that? So they would get your, so you wanted the exposure, but they'd get your travel."
Yeah, they'd get my travel and accommodation. And then I'd do the gig for free. So basically, when I say travel and accommodation, there was already 4 people going down. They just wanted to add drums. So actually, they're not paying anything extra. I was just sharing a room with someone.
Right, yeah.
So they're literally not out of pocket. I just jumped in someone's van who was already going down. Someone who from the agency, not just a randomer. And then stayed in someone's hotel who was there and did the gig for free.
Right, okay.
So I thought, that'll look really good on my social medias and then when we got there, the guy, one of the managers came over and was like, "Oh, can I get you both a drink?" It was me and a female sax player. And we're like, "Oh, can you just have a water, please?" And he was like, No, what do you want? Do you want an espresso martini? And we were like, "Oh, are you sure?" Yeah, of course. And we thought, "Oh, well, yes, please." "Oh, thanks so much." And then it came on around an hour or so later. "How was the espresso martini? Do you want another one?" And we were like, "Are you sure? I'm happy with water." "No, have another one. It's fine. Everyone's celebrating. Don't worry, it's fine. Completely cool." And we thought, "Oh, that's nice. Oh, well, yes, please." And there was a time when one of the guests wanted to buy the sax player a drink.
Okay.
So we went to the bar, and the guy was like, "Oh, and just a drink for her as well." And he was like, "Oh, no, if it's for her, no, don't worry about it. It's fine." So we're like, "Oh, this is bloody brilliant. I'll get another drink whilst I'm here then, fine." Espresso martini, thank you. At the end of the night, they wouldn't let us leave because they wanted us to pay for the bar bill.
Oh, no way.
I hadn't even been paid anything for this gig.
So what happened in the end?
Well, the agents had to cough up.
You're joking.
So they'd given them all a discounted rate. They've literally got a free drummer. Someone was handing us drinks.
That is so
not even
bad.
Letting guests buy us drinks because it sounded like it was on the tab.
Oh, that is
And then we got whacked
so
with
naughty.
a £120 bar bill because it was an expensive venue
That
in
is
London.
so naughty.
Bad, isn't it?
So contracts, this is what we spoke about last time. This is why you have him in it. Wow.
I know. So literally,
so bad.
me doing exposure probably cost the agency like 60 quid.
Yeah.
But it was no one's fault. But yeah, they actually wouldn't let us leave until we paid.
Wow. That is mental. That is a mental story. So basically you don't really barter that much. No, especially after those experiences. I don't either. I do have a price for clubs because it feels fair, especially in the environment that we're currently in terms of the club industry. And then I have, my price for weddings and birthdays and everything as well. I kind of think, well, got to be confident knowing my own worth. If somebody doesn't understand my own worth, then they're not really the person that I should be playing for in the first place.
Say it louder for people in the back.
Sorry, I don't know if there is anyone in the back. All right, let's move on to our next podcast topic. Now, this is a podcast topic we've had on schedule to bring up in a podcast 4 times now, and we've always run out of time. So we'll bring it up this time. And that podcast topic is one thing that you would change about the entertainment and events industry and why.
You say this, but we've actually discussed this with Holly.
We never did. We never got to it.
Are you sure?
Absolutely confident.
I think I just said all my points for that one in the previous podcast topic that we spoke to with Holly. But for me, more blooming security, better trained staff, better guest etiquette, drinks riders. Give me something to drink. Not even Pinot Grigio. Just like a lemonade.
You can get a lemonade though for free, can't you?
Not at bloody weddings.
Oh.
Yeah, depending if you go to the venue.
Water because it damages my saxophone if I have anything else.
Well.
So I don't really know.
I'm not blowing on my drumstick, so I don't have that problem.
Just as well. That'd be a strange gig. Oh dear.
But yeah, so they're like my normal ones. But one thing that I've noticed recently is I've when I lost that residency that I mentioned beforehand, they said if I wanted to kind of get back on the books or get other residencies because they've changed the way they pay people, they're now using this app. So I thought, oh, okay. So I downloaded the app, and I am shocked and baffled and depressed about the fact of how much they get paid. Like, it pops up and it says, like, gig in Dewsbury, £110. £110.
Yes.
Like, 4-piece band, 225 quid. I'm like, what?
Yes. Look, we're not in the business to ridicule agencies, or especially as we work with them, or ridicule how a business works. But at the same time, I feel like I will stand my ground and say, let's be fair, because these places are taking a killing profit from people who are, desperate for gigs and, might have decided that this is their only job and are struggling to make ends meet, really. And it's also lowering the industry, or making, again, the industry crumble when people accept those jobs for 100 and, well, not even 100 quid sometimes, and traveling X amount, because then those venues and that agency or those agencies think, oh, well, we can get someone at that price because we've proved it. And they can. But then what that means is, people then have to go for that price in the future because otherwise they won't get any booking whatsoever. I
know, but if you are new and you've just joined this app to try and get some club gigs, you're not going to know any different. So you are going to be accepting things. You might go, oh, that's a higher paying one. That's 150. Do you know what I mean? And like, it's just because I'm just shocked at how low everything is.
Pricing is really, really quite difficult anyway. I mean, this is like a separate topic itself, really, just pricing. How do you price yourself? I know we've touched on this before, but it's a bit of a guessing game, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially when you start.
Yeah. I know a few people, I didn't do this myself, but I know a few people who have actually created like fake email addresses who are in the industry to email other people about what they would charge for a
My mum, that was one of Mum's ideas. I didn't do it. But she was like, do your market research.
Yeah. So you can get an idea of how much people are quoting. But the variety of prices is so different. And the variety of players as well, or, and if we're talking about the music field here specifically, but I think it would probably stretch to other fields as well, photography or even sound engineer or DJ, whatever. Someone could be of a standard that you may think, I'm better than that, but they're charging way more than you, and it's like, oh, I don't know what to quote here. Should I quote 4 times them? Because I'm 4 times better.
But then also, if they are more established and they are quoting that, but they have more content and you're fairly new, you know that you're better, you then suddenly can't go in at the same price or higher because you haven't necessarily got the content to show that.
Do you think that you can increase your price if you've got an increase in Instagram followers? So, like, do you know what I mean? So if because then you look big, don't you? I've got 300,000 Instagram followers. I don't know why you'd be from Essex. I've got 300,000 Instagram followers. Yeah,
that's quite good.
Ew, not bad. What does that mean? I'm going to jack up my price a bit.
I think it depends on who you are.
I would. But to be fair, with my Instagram followers, I should be charging 50p per gig.
Because you don't post on Instagram much.
I know, but it's just too much effort.
Tough.
I'm not that great at it. Anyway, we've mentioned that once before. Yeah.
But yeah, no, I guess it depends on who you are and what your kind of ethos is. So when I've raised my prices in the past, it hasn't been because, I've got a few more followers. It's been because actually, 1, inflation, 2, I'm more experienced.
Yeah, true.
And 3, I've had more time to put into my craft and I know exactly how it works and it's like a well-oiled machine now, and actually I know I can deliver exactly the price that I'm quoting.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
So like for me, I'm not sure, I'm not trying to do a humble brag here, but I'm nearly at 100,000,
Oh,
that happened.
I haven't been counting.
Another video has gone viral. No, I only looked yesterday because another video went viral and it was like 100 followers, and I was like, oh god. So yeah, I'm at 97.5 now.
Oh, very nice.
I know. It's actually, whenever that happens though, I'm not even sure if it's a good thing or not, because
do you think that's 97.5 thousand people, or do you think it's more complicated than that?
Elaborate.
So let's just say that all those 97.5 thousand followers lined up in a queue outside this room to see you, because you're like a celeb, right? do you think there'd be 97.5 thousand people, or do you think it's like, I don't know, some not necessarily bots, but like, I don't know, some complicated, weird Instagram thing?
I honestly don't know, because I know people say bots, and I will honestly, hand on heart, say I've never, ever, ever paid for followers. I've never seen the point of it. So I do block. Honestly, the amount of people that I've blocked is ridiculous. I'll have to get a screenshot and show you. There must be
7.5 thousand people.
There might be thousands of people that I've blocked, not just because of hate, but just because they do look a bit botty. Or like you click on the profile and it's like, you know, they might have like 3 followers and 1 photo and that's it. I'm like, So I've kind of like got rid of those, but I think a lot of them are actually people because they do send me messages.
Right, okay.
And like that's one of the reasons why it takes so long for me to go through everything. They do send me messages every single day, or sometimes then I block them because they are being a bit spammy, and I know they're real, but I'm like, you're annoying. Like, so I don't know. I think probably that many. I know definitely that many accounts, and I think the majority of them are real.
Yeah, right. Going back to our topic in hand, because we went woo on a diversion.
This is a very diverty
It
podcast.
is.
Strap in for the ride, folks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it just depends on your ethos. And maybe where your followers are. Like, for example, I can tell you that a larger percentage of mine...
I love how I just said going back to our a topic in question, and then you carried on with the topic that isn't in question.
I thought the topic we were going back to was charging more with followers, no?
No, the topic is supposed to be what you'd get rid of from the entertainment industry.
How did we get here?
I don't know.
How did we get here?
I have no idea. I think I said, it's a completely different topic, talking about how much
I was talking about pay with agencies, wasn't I? And then we just went on a rocket somewhere else.
Yeah, we did. Completely somewhere else. No, I was
having an out-of-body experience.
Yeah. I was trying to bring it back to that.
We were so far removed.
Removed.
Okay, you take us back.
I just want to get. So this is why I don't post on Instagram, because I don't do one very important thing when I'm ever at a gig. I don't take out my phone that much, which means I don't have any content, and that is the thing that that I'd want to get rid of entirely from gigs. Is phones, because all I see is just people TikToking or Snapchatting or whatever, Xing, because it's not Twitter anymore, is it? What do you know? People don't X, but you know what I mean. And I'm just like, I'm just fed up of seeing people.
When you say TikToking, do you mean like doing their own TikToks or filming
I've seen that. Oh, I've seen that a lot at clubs, especially. I'll see, like, I'm in the middle of doing my thing, you know, getting into it, and then I'll see like 2 people, often girls, usually between the ages of 18 and 21, probably. I don't ask them because I don't talk to them, but they'll put the phone on like some sort of table or whatever, or you know, stool, and they'll be doing a dance to the music. But I'm like, is this fun? Like, why have you come out to do a TikTok? Like, I don't understand. And I think, you know, I see all these people queuing up around with the little flashlights on, blinding me. It's like I'm on the motorway at the, you know, in the depths of the night.
Oh no, I'm Callum. I'm so good that everyone's filming me to show off. Oh,
I mean, look, I understand.
It's the world's smallest violin. Sorry.
I understand the positives of the social media, because if they send it to their mate and their mate's like, oh, he's great, I'd love to book him, then great.
What are all these accents?
I don't know. I don't even know where that was. Then wicked. That helps. Yeah. Okay, of course that helps. But sometimes I actually think I see people filming because they are feeling socially awkward, and they feel like they need to hold something, whether that's a pint, which I would prefer them to hold because they're in a bar, or that's their phone. And I feel like if I'm blasting away on my saxophone, they can't obviously have that same social interaction and conversation that they would normally, so they bring out their phones. But I think it's also, and this happened actually just in a gig that I did yesterday, I won't say where, but it was something I observed. 2 men actually didn't say a single word, not that I could see, pretty much for the entire time that they were there, which was a good hour. And I thought, well, if they're staying here for an hour, they must enjoy it. But they were on their phones the entire time. And I thought,
Right.
are they on their phones because they feel socially distant from each other? Am I creating that social distance by blasting away on my saxophone? You know, and all these things are going through my head, as you know, as they would. But I'm thinking, like, yeah, these phones aren't allowing people to converse, to talk, to enjoy themselves. They feel like they have to record. And there's also this kind of like following effect where what I notice, especially with a group of people, one person will bring out their phone to record, and then all of a sudden everyone else is recording at the same time. And I'm thinking, basically, you're getting 5 different angles of the same thing. Why not just get one person filming and then share it in a WhatsApp group later on? What's the point? Yeah, so I'm just fed up. I'm just fed up of phones. I just see too many of them.
I know, but also it's memories though. Because I mean, did you ever used to go out?
Yeah.
On the sesh?
Yeah. Well, I went out. I mean, I didn't get like drunk. But yeah,
I know,
went
but
out.
sometimes the best times, the following day, is when you wake up and you're still a bit tipsy and you're like, that was wild last night, wasn't it? And then you get your phone out and you start scrolling through all the videos of when someone fell over and then someone spilled a drink on themselves and, oh my God, the sax player, he was amazing. Oh, he played my song.
Well, they can't remember it if they're
and
that gone.
No, but when I had my party, I spent so long looking at those photos because it reminds me of happy memories.
It might just be me, because what I've noticed, unless it's my child, I don't look back on my phone to look at any photos or videos that I've taken. But according to my phone, I have like 15,000 photos and videos, and I think, of what? A lot of them of me playing that I've never even posted on Instagram. So yeah, that's the thing that I'd get rid of. I
mean, I think I do get it, because when you're at a concert, like I was a sucker for it when I was at Sean Paul. If there's a good song on, I want to like record it so I can remember it, which sounds silly. But then also, it's when people are literally watching the entire 3-hour performance through a phone screen.
Yeah, I've seen that.
That's what annoys me. Like, I'll try and just record a little bit of it, make sure it's in the right spot, and just leave my hand there and actually just try and like enjoy it. Like, for example, if my friend was like, record Breathe by Sean Paul, I'd be like, okay, put my phone up and then just leave my hand there. I know the position's right, and then I can still enjoy it, which is a bit of an odd thing that I do.
No, I understand what you mean. Sorry to interject. I think there's 2 types of recording, and actually I see this with younger people and older people. So I see older people, they will separate themselves from their group that they are with to get the best angle, and be really focused on trying to shoot something that is good in their eyes. And sometimes I will feel socially awkward because I'm like, you've been filming me for the past 7.5 minutes. You've been following me all around the club.
I've had that, yeah.
But what I notice with younger people is I feel like they shoot not because they really care, but because they're just like, yeah, everyone else is doing it, I'll just take out my phone because I feel like I can't talk. I feel socially awkward. It just looks different.
When I've felt socially awkward, I'm not filming somebody because that's drawing more attention to you. I get my phone out and I scroll on Facebook and nothing's there yet, so I just go on all my apps, everything's still in place. And,
when I feel socially awkward in a club, if I'm holding a drink, I have a drink. I'll use that moment to have a drink because I'm like, oh, this is weird, I don't know what to say.
This is why I keep going back to the bar.
This is why people get hammered, because they're all socially insecure.
Because phones have taken away any form of normal communication.
Which is why I'd get rid of them.
Interesting.
Yeah.
We've come full circle.
We have. So we're gonna soon wrap up, but we're gonna have a quick little conversation just about what we'd get rid. Not what we'd get rid. Sorry. Well, you kind of. If we ever got married in the future, based on what you see at weddings, is there anything that you would do differently? So anything you'd get rid of your wedding, basically.
Purple lighting.
Okay. What's wrong with purple lighting?
Oh, it does my head in.
I've never. The background is hilariously. I've got a purple light.
It's not that it looks bad. I can see it right in the. We've got a mirror set up so we can make sure that the camera's still filming, and I'm glowing purple behind me, which is really ironic for this. It's not that it looks bad. It's that I see it all the time.
Hilariously, all the writing on our notes is you.
I actually did choose purple.
Yeah. You see it all the time.
Yeah, it like I say, it looks great. I think things definitely go through trends and they go through phases. So like with the weddings, or even at any event, you had those chairs with the kind of drapey things that this super tight things that cling onto the chairs. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I do
And
know
they
what
have
you
kind
mean.
of all
Tights
gone
for
out
chairs.
of pantyhose for seats. So yeah, they've kind of all come in and they've gone out of fashion, and now we're kind of in the sash phase on the back of chairs. I don't know why I'm going on about chairs, but purple lighting now is everywhere. It's always white decor, purple lighting.
I've never noticed, but you're probably right.
Honestly.
Yeah.
Honestly. And like I say, it looks gorgeous. And if that was my wedding and I hadn't been to over 300 weddings, I'd go, oh, stunning. Because it is really aesthetic. And I'm not saying that I don't like it because of my personal preference. Just for me, if I got married, that would be like walking into my office.
Right, okay, fair.
Do you know what I mean? So if you have booked me and you're listening to this and you have got purple lighting, it will look stunning, ignore me. But just for mine, I'd want to go completely unwedding.
Yeah.
Like, I'm considering not having a white dress.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Like, just to make everything completely... Like, maybe have everyone turn up in black. That is getting a bit more common now. Or...
Wait, what? Isn't that more for a funeral?
I know, I've seen people do it in monochrome weddings, which is quite cool.
Oh, that's so strange.
It's really, that's another a trend that's coming in now.
See, I'd do that if I was getting divorced. Wear black because it's the complete opposite.
No, I think people are normally wearing like bright pink. It's like a second-hand party if they're doing divorced. Or like I also quite like in some of the Indian and Asian cultures they have red dresses or red saris and stuff like that. And I quite like the way that that's meant to insinuate prosperity and good fortune. And that's why they wear red. So I don't want to culturally appropriate. Obviously, I'm not going to be dressed in a sari. However, I've seen people have like red wedding dresses and stuff like that, just to go completely against the grain. Or I might just be like, you know what, I want this for myself. I'm going to go white and be a princess. I don't know. What would you do?
See, now this is quite funny because I've been thinking about what I would do. We came up with the question together, didn't we? So I should have had loads of things to say. And what I realised is I too wouldn't want like a wedding that I see every day.
Yeah.
Because they are all relatively similar. But I'm like, just wouldn't feel inspired by that. So I'd completely want to change it. I wouldn't have a sax player at my wedding because I see that all the time. I'm doing it. I would want dance music and house music and all of that. But when I too, imagine the leotards on the chairs, the tights over the chairs, I think, I wouldn't want that either. Maybe just need to go to a council registry office and that's just it really.
That's too boring
that way. No, I don't really know. I think, especially when I think about entertainment.
Yeah.
I'm like, who would I get that I'd be not necessarily happy with, because obviously anyone who would be entertaining, I'd be really grateful and happy for them, to entertain for the wedding. But I think I'd be like, I don't know what to choose that I've not seen 3 million times already.
Yeah, it's really difficult because we have actually been made aware that some clients are listening to our podcast now,
yes.
Which is lovely.
Hello,
so thank
clients.
you. Hello, clients. But yes, if you are listening to what we're saying and you have got anything, like I say, with the purple lighting or the tights for chairs or us booked, it's not that we don't like it.
But it's not something that also you're going to think about the same way that we do, because we see it all the time.
Exactly. It's like if you literally walked into your office building and got married there.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have the same effect.
No.
Because you see it every day. So we know that we're goddamn fantastic. But, and we will make your wedding amazing, but we just want something different.
Yeah.
So one thing that I have actually seen was a swing band.
Oh, okay.
And I've only seen one of them. But I love the 20s, the Roaring 20s, Baz Luhrmann. He did the Great Gatsby film. He also did the Moulin Rouge film. So like all that kind of Roaring 20s style, I really like. So I do think a swing band would be really good, really classy.
Yeah. That would be good. Yeah, it would be good. But expensive though, but good.
Well, yeah, but that's the thing. We like music, so we're going to invest money into music, aren't we?
Yeah, probably. Speaking of which, though, this does lead me on to the thing about the venue. You said, I don't want to show up to my own workplace for my own wedding. But having said that, I'd probably want to go to a venue that I'm familiar with because of the acoustics. Because one thing that destroys things for me is poor acoustics.
Yeah.
And that could be hit and miss with glass rooftops. Sometimes it can be absolutely fine.
There's one that I hate playing at.
Definitely want to talk about.
There's two that I hate playing at because of that.
Yeah. So but because we look at it, if you're a guest, or not a guest, but if you're someone who is, got your wedding booked or whatever, and you've got a glass rooftop, do not worry, because you are not going to notice.
You're not going to notice one thing.
We notice.
We fix. We go with it, and we make sure it's fine.
Yeah, we adjust. We make the adjustments.
That's the word. We adjust.
It's like, it's a glass ceiling.
But you will know no different.
Yeah.
I probably would actually maybe get married in a venue that I have been at before. But it's funny because I go to so many weddings and you think you know exactly what you want, and it's the opposite. I know exactly what I don't want.
Yeah.
So, but I definitely want a bar in the same room. That is a non-negotiable for me. And no sound limiter, for the love of Christ.
See, I don't think I'm going to have any alcohol at my wedding.
I'm not coming then.
Well, it was my sister. Well, I'm not getting married, by the way. There's no just to stop any rumours. There's no wedding on the cards. But I've just thought about, because she's getting married in August. And she's decided not to have any alcohol. And at first I was like, whoa! But actually, I think it was a lot to do with kind of culture, but also she doesn't drink. And then I thought about how much I drink, and then I thought about the weddings I go to and see the chaos in front of me, and I'm like, oh, are you actually having a good time because you're paralytic? And I think, maybe I don't need it. Yeah.
I mean, that is actually a really interesting topic. I mean, what I'd also do with that is, if I wasn't going to drink, I'd also do completely unplugged. So you've got your photographer and your videographer there, but people don't even have their phones on them. So you can be...
Yes, please.
Yes. He didn't even pay me to say that.
No.
So yeah, you don't then have that awkward, I'm going to go on my phone, because otherwise if people are socially awkward, that's why people go get a drink. Especially in a big environment. And people would go on their phones, and then it'd be a room of people on their phones. But if you haven't got people taking photos all the time, and you probably just will naturally wind down, because you're going to have to talk to people.
Yeah, do you know what? That's a great
quite a
idea.
safe environment.
Yeah, so when you go through the venue, when I get married, you're going to have a lockbox where you put your phone in, and your phone stays there. And when you want your phone again, you're going to have to leave. Because that's the only time you're going to be able to get your phone, is when you want to, when you need to leave. Yeah.
Well, the girl at work who I said had booked in town to go to some gigs, she went to her first unplugged gig, and it was a band called Ghost, I think, and then we're like, Kiss, wear like heavy makeup and stuff. But yeah, it was an unplugged gig, so you couldn't have your tickets on your phone.
Right.
You had to print them out. As soon as you went in, it gets put into this box, and you couldn't even, you had to wear a watch, because otherwise you couldn't tell the time. If you had to make sure that your kids were going to be okay with their grandparents, because there was no way of contacting you.
And that's what people did.
I know, but I was like, what if there's a case of emergency?
But I'm sure you could go to reception and just say, I need to use your phone, it's an emergency.
Well, what if you didn't know?
But this is
what if Omari was with your parents or Josie's parents or something, son, by the way. Yeah. And then all of a sudden it was like, we've got to go to hospital. Oh no, wait, he's just going to see that sax player. It's an unplugged gig.
But how did they do it before phones? The gigs have been happening since Gregorian chants. If someone was looking after the child, they didn't go if someone was gonna people who had kids went to see the Rolling Stones in the 60s, they didn't take the mobile with them because they didn't exist. If there was an emergency, they'd get home and they'd find out then. And if they're being looked after by an appropriate adult who is a responsible adult, then they're gonna just make sure that they're okay and getting the treatment that they need.
Yeah, true.
And then at least then you enjoy your gig, and at least you've enjoyed your gig. You can deal with
the ailing child later. Yeah, but I've had a good time.
After, but at least, what's going to happen is you're going to rush off home all in it, and then you not have enjoyed the gig, and it could have turned out to be just nothing really that major. I mean, it could be awesome major, but but yeah. We're going to move on to the end of our podcast. And it's my favourite bit. It's always my favourite bit is gig stories. I need some sort of little theme tune.
We do need a jingle.
Gig. Da-da-da-da. Oh! Gig stories. Yeah, jingle. My
So I'm looking so puzzled by the sheer amount of facial expressions you just pulled.
Yes, because my partner Josie actually created a jingle for us. And would you believe I can actually play it to you with some finding live on the podcast.
Oh my god. No, what if I don't like it?
there are two versions. Maybe we need a poll because we need we need people to kind of pick for themselves what they would which one they would prefer. So this is the.
Will that play through us? Everyone can hear?
Yeah, well,
Right,
yeah, because it should do.
Wow.
We make it happen podcast. Sweet on Sax and Kristi. This is a podcast you don't want to miss. Straight from Sheffield. Relax and enjoy. With your girl, Kristi and Callum, your boy. We make it happen podcast.
Oh my God.
Sweet on Sax and Kristi.
How long is it?
This
It's actually
is a
2 minutes and 44.
you
So
don't
I think
wanna
we'll
miss.
stop there. Because there's another version of it as well. If you want to go house,
Oh my God. Oh,
take it to Ibiza.
take it to Ibiza.
Yeah. So this is all AI.
Make it happen podcast.
No.
Yeah,
With
it's all
Sweet
AI.
on Sax and Kristi.
I'll let people listen.
This is a podcast you don't want to miss. Straight from Sheffield. Relax and enjoy with your girl Kristi and Callum, your boy.
Yeah.
Get this playing in Pasha. Oh my God.
Yeah. Cool, right? Yeah. So complete tangent. I don't know where we I can't
am
remember what we were
baffled.
talking about before. Oh, gig stories. Yeah.
Oh my God.
I know. it's
Right, we're
great.
going to look back to that once this podcast is finished.
Absolutely, yeah, because this is the first that you know about it. I didn't actually
No!
tell you. It just suddenly dawned on me. What we saying? We were talking
Gig
about
stories need a jingle.
Oh yeah, we need a jingle for it. Well, there we go. We'll use AI.
That was wild.
It was
With
wild.
your girl, Chris Dixon Callum, your boy.
So I'm just gonna have to do a little mini cough, clear the throat. So we've got a couple great stories, and I will start the first one, which is a written one by Becky Eden Green.
Yay.
So she says, later on into the evening, rather than dancing, I noticed that the bride and groom had disappeared and people were sat around the dance floor looking like they were having the most miserable time, despite the DJ dropping banger after banger, bro. When the bride and groom reappeared, they looked ruffled and had faces like thunder. They apologised profusely to me that people weren't dancing. It turned out that one of the groom's family had broken into the kitchen and urinated into the glass washer. A fight had broken out and the offending guest had been kicked out, but no one wanted to do any drinking for the rest of the night, and it totally killed the vibe.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
How do you fix that? I would not want to drink from that.
Well, would it be too bad though? Because wouldn't it just wash itself? Because it's a glass washer, right? So isn't the idea that it just...
I know, but I'd want like some sort of washing detergent in there to do its own like self-clean cycle, which might take an hour.
Yeah, I don't know.
How do you fix that?
I don't know, to be honest. I have no idea.
I'd go like, I'd send someone to Wilco's and get some paper cups. That's all I'd do.
It's a bit bigger, isn't it?
Right on.
And then this is this is a voice now. We've got another story. Yeah. So this is May. Again, she's getting mentioned a lot here.
I know.
She's gonna have to start charging for this. But yeah, this is good friend of yours.
May, we love
specifically
you.
May, yeah. Who I suppose is or could be one day a friend of mine because I'm just seems a very nice person.
Oh, that's so nice.
So this is great. And I'll kick off here.
Okay.
I've got like a not so funny one. Like,
What's going on?
What's going on?
because
Is
off
I'm
the top
trying
of
to
my head, I'll
work
just
out
keep sending
technology.
them if you want.
That's
Like,
so
I think
fast.
I've probably got like at least 50.
This is what? Sorry.
So fast.
Oh yeah, I've put it on.
So this isn't even a funny one, but it is a story.
I think it is
I was
quite
playing,
fast, but hey ho, we'll be all right.
Right, okay.
Just strap in, guys. Listening.
I was like, the bride was in front of me. I was playing. The bride was in front of me. It was in Cyprus. Was it Cyprus? Yeah. And I was on a chair playing. Don't know why. And she was in front of me, like kind of like worshipping me as I was playing.
Worshipping.
And I knew she was in front of me, but she was far enough away from me. But I like was getting really into it. I started to close my eyes whilst I was playing to just like, I don't know, I was just feeling it. I was closing my eyes whilst I was playing. And then I like went to lift my sax in the air, unbeknownst to me, whilst I'd closed my eyes for a second. She'd come in really close to like my body. And so when I went to put my sax in the air with my eyes closed, it like smashed her forehead. No, wait, it smashed her nose and like sliced her nose open. And then all of this blood started gushing down her white wedding dress. This was at her destination wedding in Cyprus. It was like the bougiest wedding I'd ever done. Well, maybe not the bougiest, but one of them.
Like that little
I just couldn't believe it. And I was like, oh my God. I didn't get in trouble or anything because she'd basically, it was an accident. And basically she'd like come mad close to me whilst I was playing on this chair and was throwing my sax around. So people were like, it was all, people were like, it was all on her. But yeah, it was really awful actually, because obviously she was ending up just bleeding the rest of the night, and like she wouldn't go to the doctors or the hospital or anything, but I was pretty sure she needed stitches. But do you know, like I play a Yanni sax and it has like a, on the bottom of it, on the bottom of the bell, like the curve at the bottom, it's got like a ridge, like a hard ridge, and I think it's to protect the bell actually. But yeah, like if you hit anyone with that, because it's like a sharp ridge there, like it, slice.
So I too have a Yanni sax, and I know exactly what she means. It does have a ridge at the bottom of the sax, and it is solid. It is proper solid. Have you ever injured anyone on a gig, or have you been injured?
I injure myself all the time.
Okay.
And my sticks are like a hazard. There was one time when I was playing. Can we just go back to the fact that this woman was bleeding all over her wedding dress?
We are probably not giving this story. We're not justifying this story. Shall we talk about this story first, and
please.
Then So
she was playing on a chair.
Yeah.
And the bride's worshipping her. Love that.
Yeah.
And then she closes her eyes, lifts the sax up, cuts the bride's face.
Yeah.
Blood pouring everywhere.
Yeah. Can you imagine? You can't write it, can you?
Oh no!
Right. And that's why you have a red wedding dress, guys.
Precisely. That's why I'm doing it. Oh my God, I'd die.
Yeah.
What would you even do?
What would I do? You can't do anything. You just have to crack on, don't you?
I know, but that's
no pun intended. Oh dear.
Good God.
Yeah, that's a crazy story. Yeah, have you've injured yourself with your sticks?
Injure myself all the time. There was one time that was quite funny when I was playing, and like sometimes when I'm playing, the stick kind of goes up, and I kind of lose grip of it, and it just flies off into the stratosphere somewhere.
Yeah.
So it's not when I'm hitting down; it's when I'm bringing my stick back up. I might lose grip, and it just goes flying. But normally I can find it, or like it flings over somewhere. But this time, it just went, and I was like, I have no idea what it is. And like, I just carried on playing for like the 3-4 seconds till I could hit a cymbal. Hit the cymbal, did a sly little turn around, trying to have a look. Couldn't see it anywhere, and I thought, oh, that's really odd. So then I carried on playing again, and I was looking around as it rolled forward, and someone picked it up, like
stuck in someone's nose.
No, but the thing is, I'm concerned because it's small, people don't see it, and it rolls. So if someone stands on it, they're going to go flying.
Yeah.
So that's like the main reason why I'm looking for it. And I was like trying to find it, still couldn't find it. Anyway, 20 minutes went past, set ended, and I was like, right. So then I went behind the DJ booth to look. And then at one point, this guy came over and he was like, is this your stick, by the way? And I was like, yeah. Where was it? And he was like, I hit my wife on the head.
He hit his wife on the head with the stick?
I did, unintentionally.
Right.
So if you imagine how high this thing went with the force of me playing, I think it was like, I don't know, Castles in the Sky or something. So it was like a fast BPM. Sticks in the sky. So obviously it had flown up in the air, gone across the side of the room, smacked this woman on the head who was about 68 years old. And then it fell onto the floor and rolled under the table. So he was going, what was that? She's then fuming at him, thinking that he's hit her because there's no proof because the stick isn't there.
Oh, wow.
And it was only when he found the stick, he was like, look, it wasn't me.
Hopefully people didn't think that it was him.
No, but he thought it was because she thought it was him because she was like, I've been hit. No one's near us. We're in a corner of the room, sat down.
That is
Who
worrying,
else would it be?
though, that she immediately thought, it's got to be my husband.
I don't know, but yeah, he was like, here's your stick back, thanks for that. And I was like, I'm so sorry.
Oh, wow. I've had 3 injuries through gigs. One of them was myself, two others. One of them, I wasn't actually gigging. I'd came to visit a venue that I often play at, and whilst I was there, I decided to grab a confetti cannon. When I let the confetti cannon go, I managed to somehow dislocate somebody's wrist at the same time.
What?
So
Who?
basically, what happened is when I went boom with the confetti cannon, they were part of the crowd and they had their hand up in the air just as I shot it, and basically the contents of the confetti just went all on their wrist.
Oh my God.
And it dislocated it. And I felt terrible. And I was like, I'm not even gigging, but I was like, oh, can I help you in any way? I was like, God, as if I'd just come to a venue and done this, and this is the first thing that I do, I injure someone. They did later tell me that they suffer from dislocations a lot, but they took some time to tell me this, because I was like really, really like, oh no, what have I done? And they were like, oh, it happens all the time, don't worry about it. And I was like, you made me feel that small, and now you're telling me. So that was one. Another one is I had my saxophone stand by the DJ decks. A woman came far too close, didn't see the saxophone stand, and went flying over it and twisted her ankle.
Oh God.
And then the third one, which involves me, was where I twisted my ankle at a gig, which was in, I'll say the venue because they helped me out quite a lot actually. It was in Crowwood. In Burnley.
I like Crowwood.
And I don't really know what happened, but basically the floor disappeared from beneath me. I don't know how. It's like a black hole or something.
What?
No, the floor didn't actually disappear, but it felt like it did, because all I remember is just tumbling to the ground with my saxophone.
God.
And I twisted my ankle. And it was at the start of the set, start of the night pretty much. I'd only done one set. And I was adamant that I would continue, and I did continue, but it really killed the vibe. There was unfortunately a lot less people in the dance floor than before, but there was one guest in particular who was first aid trained, who basically looked after my ankle and made sure that it was okay, which was really, really sweet. But I also was like, this is really surreal. Like, I've got to play at this wedding, and a guest has ended up basically rescuing me.
A guest is the star of the show.
pretty much. They do happen. This is why we have public liability insurance then, specifically for this reason, because it can go quite wrong sometimes. If you've got gig stories, please let us know by writing to
WeMakeItHappenPodcast@gmail.com.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much for listening. If you are driving, I hope that you have arrived to your destination safely.
Or if you're tired, pull over.
Please do. Yes. We want to hear from you. We want to hear your hilarious gig stories, what you've been doing throughout the week. You don't have to email it in, because it doesn't appear that anyone else does, because everyone chooses to use Instagram instead. So we are going to leave it there. Thank you so much for listening.
And we love you.
We love you very much. Goodbye. See you later.
From your girl Kristi and your boy Callum.
Happy Easter.
Happy Easter.
Bye.